Welcome to Gong Interval Yoga. I call this practice Come Back to You, to remind you to just get yourself on your mat and let go of all of the things in your life, work, social, family, plans, etc. and give yourself this 30 minutes to come back to you. So when you're ready, let's get started. Lying down on your mat, we're going to bring one knee into your chest and we're just going to warm up our hip socket or leg by just wiggling from side to side and maybe rotating a little bit one way and then the other. Just beginning to warm up this side of the body. And going to the other leg, give that leg a squeeze. Pull it towards your chest and then begin to wobble it around. Wiggle, wobble, side to side. In and out a little bit. A few circles. Last squeeze. Now bring both your knees up and drop them over to the side. We're going to do this from side to side, twisting, leaving your arms out, and then just twisting those knees from side to side. Maybe not going right down to the floor. Remembering you're warming up here. So just take it at your pace. Then straightening out one of those legs and coming across with the bent leg to do a little bit of a stronger twist. Hold that knee down with your hand and begin to circle your arms inwards and out. Inwards and out. We're warming up all the joints of our arm and shoulder here at the same time as doing this twist, and then turn it the other way. Outwards and in, circling around, limbering up. Over to the other side with the other leg, bend that leg, cross it over the straight leg. With the help of your hand, pull that knee down towards the ground and then circling in that arm, inwards and over the head and out. Inwards, over the head and out, circling, limbering up the shoulder muscle and then turning the other way, out and in across the body. Lovely mobility, fluidity. Now squeeze those knees and then come into happy baby if you can reach your feet here or your ankles, and then we're going to rock the baby side to side, getting into our groin muscles, our hamstrings, hip sockets. Really beginning to feel our bodies limbering up for this yoga practice. We're going to come up into a bridge now, lifting your pelvis and then coming back down vertebrae by vertebrae. Up again onto your shoulders, back from your shoulders, middle back, hips down, waving that up. Up and down, warming up the whole back here. Lovely. Now we're going to hold our bridge. We're bringing in some strength here, beginning to really get into our practice. Hold the bridge, clasp your hands under your back if that's possible for you. Come right up onto your shoulders here. Keep your hips level. Pull up your pelvic floor a little bit and just bring your knees slightly together to hold this move. And breathing. Coming out. Now we're going to just rock up. Using a little bit of momentum here to roll up and then roll back down. Get right into the spine here, and the whole body gets the benefit of this movement, getting the circulation going. Roly-poly, up and down. Coming onto our stomachs now. Just bring your hands out to the outside of your mat and then come up only slightly, and then begin to dip your shoulders inwards one at a time. So bringing some strength into the shoulders here and really getting some flexibility, which is really important in this area. We tend to be quite blocked in this area from too much looking at our computers and our phones. So great move. Coming out now. Bring your hands a little bit forward on the mat and then pull them back so that your shoulders come over your elbows, and we come into sphinx. So looking forward, drop your scapula down your back, holding sphinx. Breathing and out. So bring in your knees a little bit, coming up onto all fours, and then we're going to lift up into downward dog and come straight back out into what we call bear pose. So downward dog, lower your knees but don't quite touch the mat. It'll engage your abs. Up into downward dog and straight back into bear, knees hovering over the mat. Feel your abs beginning to engage. And again, hover and downward dog. We're going to hold our downward dog now. When you're ready, pelvis goes up. And just push those heels towards the floor wherever they get to. Loosen out your neck, lengthen your back, get into this downward dog and come back to you. Just there, out we come. We're going to bring one leg through into pigeon, starting on the right leg here. And then we're going to reach behind with our arm, the opposite arm to the leg that's behind, and grab our foot or ankle. And then we're going to pull slightly towards us, but keeping our arm long and letting the foot pull back the arm at the same time. So we have this slight tension here, which opens up the shoulder and at the same time stretches the thigh. Straight back, bring the other leg, the left leg through. Pigeon. And using the opposite arm to the long leg, pull that leg in, grab your ankle. And loosen out the neck here. And then allow the foot to pull back slightly on that hand, so that you lengthen out the arm and the shoulder and you still feel that length in the thigh muscle. Breathing. Let's come into a downward dog. We're going to even out those hips now. Up you come, lowering the heels towards the floor. Bring your inner thigh muscles inwards. Lengthen the back. Spread your fingers. Drop your head. Breathe. Well done. I'm going to bring our left foot through now. We're going to go into a lunge and then bring our arm on the same side as the bent leg to the inside of that leg, and then opening up and coming straight back out of it. Opening up to the side, lifting your shoulder, coming straight back out of it. Hand on the hip, pull your shoulder back. We are twisting and opening here. Twist to open the shoulder, pull back and drop back down again. Dynamic move, great for mobility. Now we're going to stay here, but we're going to pull our foot behind so it's at a 90-degree angle here with our knee. And we're going to open up. You can stay with your hand on your hip here. It's a little bit of a different stretch. Or if you want to, you can lift that arm into the air. Now push the other arm against the knee to keep that open so that your knee is open, your hip is open. You are open to wherever you get to today. Lovely. We're going to move into a long-armed child's pose and just take a second here before we move to the other side. So relaxing into this child pose, your arms are long. Let your head drop into the mat. Breathing. And then come through with your right leg this time. We're going to bring your arm to the inside of that bent leg, the same arm with the same leg, and then open up your chest, bringing your other hand onto your hip. Open the chest, twist around, and again, open the chest, down out of that, and again. Breathing into the chest. We're going to stay in this pose. Bring your foot, the back foot around so that your knee and your foot are now at a 90-degree angle. And then you're going to lift back into that open shoulder, open side, and stay there with your hand on your hip if that's enough for you today, or lift that arm up in the air. Getting into lots of different muscles here. And don't forget to breathe. We're going to come into a downward dog again here. Even out the hips. Up we come. Now really get into this downward dog. Body is nice and warm, so you can lift your pelvis high as you can get it and push down those heels. Lovely length in the back. Coming back to you today with your breath. Come back to the back of the mat into frog position. Your heels are up. Now you can stay in frog or drop your heels down into a squat and then come up into a forward bend. If you need to stay with your heels up when you come down, that's fine. You're in frog, forward bend, or squat, forward bend. Now we're going to stay in the squat. If you like, you can put a mat rolled up under your heels or a cushion, or stay up in frog. And if you're in your squat, you can take one hand and bring it to the inside of the other foot and open your shoulder, then closing it back down. Fluid movement down. Open that shoulder and that arm. Back down, loving the fluidity in this movement you are bringing into your joints. Again, if you need help, you can roll up a mat or a cushion underneath your heels. We're going to do the static move here now, staying in a squat or frog. We're going to lift up that arm and then bring it behind us, palm behind you onto your back. And then you can reach back with your other arm around your knee and clasp your hands, a bind here, if that's available for you. Stay in the previous position if it's not, or any other position that suits you right now. Over to the other side. Squat is a lovely move for the whole body, but can be difficult, so feel free to come into child's pose at any time. So closing the arm, then opening the arm high into the air, down, closing, open the shoulder and the arm, lifting it into the air, closing, limbering up those shoulders, closing. One more time. Lovely. Now our static move on this side. We're going to take the bind if that's possible for you. Otherwise, stay where you are. Lift up that arm. Bring the back of your hand around to the back onto the other side, and then reaching around your knee with the other arm, clasp those hands. I'm loosening out my neck here. Holding the bind and breathing. Now bring those knees in that wide position from a squat down onto the mat. Keeping them wide, your feet are coming together at the back. We're going to go into a lovely wide bent leg child position. So that's dropping down, arms are out long, using the weight of your body here to open up, breathing in. Closing your knees now, just to hip width. Coming back up into downward dog. We're going to lift the right leg up into the air as straight as you can get it. Come off your other heel here so you can get more length, and then when you're ready you can come back down, bringing that heel towards the ground. So feel free to have a bend in the leg if that's easier for you, and just stretch that leg up to wherever it gets. Wonderful. Now bring it underneath the other leg, and you can stay here if that's enough for you today. Otherwise, we're going to flip the body right around here, that your back is on going towards the ground and coming up into wild thing. Pushing your pelvis up, open your arm. Quite a strong move here. Strengthen your legs and your arms. Breathing into your chest and into your abdomen. Calm coming out. Take a second. We're going to go into dog on the other side with the lifting of the leg. So the left leg this time. Come back up into dog. Lift that leg straight up in the air. Then come up off your other heel. So you get a little bit more length and flexibility in that leg. And then when you're ready, bring that heel back towards the ground. So you're lengthening the hamstring here. One side might be different to the other. That's normal. Last little stretch and out. Now bring that leg underneath the other one. Now stay right here if that's enough for you today, or go into child's pose, or flip your body so that your back is going towards the floor, your stomach is going towards the ceiling. Open up your chest and your arm here. Strength, stability. Breath. Super. Let's come back into a child's pose now, our arms behind us. You deserve to take this moment. Let it all go. Let it go completely. You are here for you today. Come to the front of the mat now, and we'll bring our feet together in a butterfly pose. And then we're going to lean over to one side, putting our opposite hand on the opposite knee, and just come into a little rocking motion here as we lean from side to side. Bringing some space into the side body here. Now we're going to stay with the opposite hand on the opposite knee, or on your calf, or on your ankle, wherever you get to, and then lean into that side and open up your other arm and drop again the back of the hand to the opposite hip, or wherever you get to. This is a mixture between a twist and a side bend. Come to the other side now, leaning over, shoulder going down towards the thigh while your other hand is on your calf, the other leg. Bring your hand, the back of your hand, to the other hip behind you. And we are twisting and stretching and breathing. Going to come to the front now and even out. It's great to do any kind of forward bend after our side or our twist to even out everything. Come back into the center. So our feet are a bit further forward than your normal butterfly, and then lean down to wherever you can get to. Very gentle forward fold. Don't overstretch here. Now bringing one knee to the front and hooking that other foot over the knee. Grab your top knee. Pull that knee towards you. And then when you're ready, get that other arm. Open up the chest now that we're really warmed up. Going to take a nice static twist, looking behind you. whole chest is open, getting into the glute muscle here as well. Getting present. Lovely. Now drop that knee. You can use a cushion in between your knees if that helps you here, or on the ground, because you're going to drop forward over those knees now. Could be just to there, or a little bit further, or one fist on top of the other and leaning your head down on top of those. Great stretch for the glutes here. Breathing. Change those legs around. The other leg comes on top, hooks over the knee. Pull that knee towards you, that top knee. We're already getting a lovely stretch along the outside of the leg. And then take your outside arm, bring it to the back, wherever it gets to, looking behind you, opening up your chest, drop your scapula down your back. Feel the space opening up. Now coming to the front, one knee on top of the other with a cushion in between if you need that. Little wiggle. We're going to come down to the front, over your knees, one fist on top of the other, or leaning on a cushion, or wherever you get to. Dropping into this. Breathing out. Turning around on your mat here, we're going to go in to an abdominal move. Half a bridge with your legs bent if that's where you want to stay today. Keep your hands on the ground if that's where you need to be, or level, or bring your hands up and your legs out straight if you want to go to the full boat position here. Squeezing your abs. It's normal to shake a little bit in this move. Strength just before we begin to wind down. Okay, we're going to do one more strong move here before we really start to relax. So bring your feet above the ground, a couple inches, a little bit more. Arms out behind you, long boat here. Engage the abs, engage the pelvic floor. Building heat in the body. Last few seconds. Drop. Squeeze those legs in. Give yourself a little hug. Wonderful practice. Just one or two more moves here now before we come into Savasana. So up into your bridge. Holding bridge. Knees moving slightly together, not closing. Hips are level. On your shoulders. Just there. Coming out. All done now. Please take this time to come into Savasana and relax and feel the benefits of this practice. Just take a second to feel the vibrations in your body, the energy pulsing, dropping into the mat. Please take another 30 seconds here. One hand on your stomach, one hand on your heart. And just notice your breath. Don't change it or judge it. Then let that go. Relaxing out everything. Body is fully relaxed. Lovely. If you can stay here a little while longer, that would be great. But if you need to come up and close this practice for today, just come into a cross-legged position and take this couple of seconds to finish. Hands on your heart. You came back to you today. Thank you for joining me in Gong Interval Yoga. Please subscribe and like if you'd like to see more Gong Interval Yoga videos. Namaste.